Some people throw thorns, hoping you'll bleed. What they don't realize is the universe makes them walk barefoot on every sharp edge they laid for you. That's cosmic balance. That's universal law. And right now, it's unfolding in real time. This world, it doesn't miss. It doesn't forget. It calculates. And when the scale tips, when the energy flips, it's not rage that hits them, it's precision. The ones who laughed while you struggled, who whispered behind your back, thinking karma was asleep. They're choking on the silence they thought they'd enjoy. You see, chosen one, you didn't rise with noise. You rose like smoke, silent, uncatchable, undeniable. You didn't scream for recognition. You moved like gravity, pulling every room into alignment without saying a word. And now they're realizing your silence was never weakness. It was the signal, the beginning of the shift, the moment they lost control. There's a reason critics can't sit comfortably around you anymore. You represent everything they feared would survive. You are the mirror they can't distort. You are the evolution they tried to sabotage. But the irony, their attempts to break you became the blueprint of your breakthrough. And now you glow where they prayed you'd disappear. You shine where they thought you'd shatter. You are the evidence that energy never lies. Their sabotage fed your success. So if you're already feeling this, like the energy is finally correcting itself, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop "I was never the target. I was the test" in the comments. Let's go. If you're still here, it's not by accident. These shifts, this silence, this strange resistance, they don't happen to just anybody. Only the chosen will recognize this storm for what it is, and only the chosen will understand why the ones who once mocked you are now running scared. Stay with me till the end, because what's coming next will confirm exactly why you were never ordinary. You were always the threat. Number 1. Stop playing by their rules. Power comes from operating outside the system. They don't say your name anymore, but they feel it burn in every shift that now tilts the atmosphere. What used to be gossip has gone silent. The shade turned to stares. Because you, chosen one, are no longer walking like the rest. You're moving like a force the system was never built to contain. You broke the loop, and not just any loop, the one that traps people in cycles of approval, obedience, and artificial smiles. You didn't glitch, you evolved. And when you did, everything around you started to fall apart. For them. That's why the air gets thick when you enter a space. That's why people who once laughed too loud now avoid direct eye contact. The energy doesn't lie. It remembers. You are not just different. You are a disruption. And the ones who built their comfort on conformity feel that disturbance in their chest. Because you don't play by the script. You burned it. You write your own frequency now. Not influenced, not managed. Unchained. That's why they label you unpredictable. What they really mean is uncontrollable. While others need algorithms and green lights, you move when it's time. Not their time. Universal time. And the universe, it's fully aligned with your rise. That's what makes them squirm. Because control is a currency, and you're no longer buying in. You stopped reacting, and that alone flipped the entire equation. No more chasing, no more justifying. Now it's them who can't relax around you. Them who wonder what you're thinking when you say nothing at all. Have you ever watched someone scramble to look busy the moment you walk in? That's not coincidence. That's subconscious panic. They can't define you, and that terrifies them. You walk in purpose, not patterns. You're not here to please. You're here to shift the climate, and they feel the forecast changing. You are dangerous because you don't beg to be included. You evaluate the table. You choose if you want to sit or build one of your own. Most people fold when the group rejects them, but you folded the entire group dynamic and moved on. That's real power. That's spiritual independence. Your detachment is not a defense mechanism, it's clarity, it's elevation. And what scares them the most? You no longer need to prove a single thing. Not to them, not to anyone. You outgrew the role they cast for you, and when you stopped playing along, the whole production started falling apart. Number 2. Don't let the damage define you. Become the proof that destruction failed. They didn't just want to hurt you. They wanted to erase the entire possibility of your comeback. They didn't aim to wound you. They aimed to replace you with silence. That's how much your presence disrupted their illusion. But here's the twist. Chosen one, what they meant to break you only revealed what couldn't be broken. You are not walking proof of pain. You are living evidence that destruction had a deadline, and it expired. You've outlived the lies. You've walked past the ashes, and every step forward is a message sent to every hater, every manipulator, every silent watcher who bet against your rise. You failed. They planned your downfall like it was destiny. They thought the betrayal would stick, that you'd drown in shame or shrink in confusion. But you did something they never saw coming. You rebuilt. You redefined. You walked through fire, and instead of burning, you became heat. Chosen one, you're not a survivor. They've seen survivors before. What you are is rarer. You're the rebound they didn't calculate. You're the glow-up they can't decode. You're the chapter that makes their storyline look fake. Every time they see your name, your face, your glow, they're reminded that they didn't win. You're what failure looks like when it fails. So walk with your head high, not because you're trying to prove something, but because you already did. They just weren't ready for the result. Number 3. Refuse their labels. Build your own narrative as the architect of your life. Chosen one, there comes a moment when you stop auditioning for roles you never asked to play. They tried to cast you as the villain in their fragile storylines. Then, when you didn't fight back, they tried to paint you as weak. But you weren't reacting. You were blueprinting. You're not in their script. You're not in their categories. And that is what makes you untouchable. Let them call you cold while you stay composed. Let them call you arrogant while you stay focused. You don't need to rewrite their version of events. You just need to stop reading from their script. You are the architect now. You don't build from bitterness. You build from clarity. While they gossip, you design. While they slander, you lay bricks in silence. Let them keep talking. Every word they throw becomes insulation for your foundation. You've stopped chasing approval, and that's why the tables turned. Because the moment you stopped trying to fit their labels, your identity became limitless. And that scares them. You moved out of their emotional economy. Their guilt no longer buys your reaction. Their silence no longer buys your confusion. You cashed out. So remember this. You're not late. You're in alignment. You're not angry. You're focused. And the story you're building now, it doesn't need a narrator. It just needs your next move. Let them wonder. Let them mislabel. Because while they're stuck in roles, you're busy designing the stage. Number 4. Don't lower your frequency. Let their guilt expose itself around your truth. Chosen one, your presence doesn't need a microphone. It's already broadcasting at a frequency they can't decode. You don't have to confront them. You don't have to speak. Just being you is the confrontation. You ever wonder why some people start fidgeting when you walk in? Why the room shifts even when your lips are sealed? It's not you being intimidating. It's them being exposed. Their energy starts glitching because yours is clean. You don't carry hidden motives. You don't wear masks. And that kind of clarity, it burns liars alive without touching them. You're not here to dim your light to comfort the ones hiding in shadow. Let them squint. Let them run. You didn't create their guilt. You just activated it. When truth walks in, deception doesn't need to be pointed out. It starts sweating on its own. And now, they call you too intense. But what they really mean is, you're unshakably real. In a world addicted to fake, your truth is radioactive. You shine without apology. And that light? It's not personal, it's universal. It touches everything, including the things they hoped would stay buried. Don't adjust your frequency just to make others feel okay with staying low. If your truth is too loud for their shame, that's not your problem. That's their awakening knocking. Let them squirm. Let the lies dissolve. Your energy was never made to blend in. It was made to cleanse the atmosphere. And you, chosen one, are walking proof that guilt has a sound, and its silence around the truth. Number 5. Stop repeating the pain. Convert every attack into spiritual strategy. Chosen one, the attacks weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to wake you up. Every betrayal, every smear, every silence you never deserved, it was never random. It was coded. And once you cracked it, you stopped reacting and started recalibrating. You see, the pain wasn't pointless. It was pattern recognition. It showed you who they are, what they hide, and how far they'll go to stop someone like you from rising. But you didn't break. You took notes. While they were laughing, you were learning. While they were sabotaging, you were studying the terrain. And now you move with a blueprint they can't even comprehend. You don't fall for flattery. You don't chase closure. You know what fake love feels like in your bones. You've memorized the scent of manipulation disguised as care. That's why you're dangerous now, because they trained the very assassin that took down their influence over you. Every dig became data. Every attack became intel. And now you don't guess anymore. You see, you feel, you move. Let them call you cold. Let them say you changed, because you did. You stopped bleeding for people who'd sharpened the blade behind your back. You don't repeat the pain. You redesign it. You turn it into protocol, into power, into spiritual strategy. You're not playing defense anymore. You're building empires from the debris. They tried to dismantle you. All they did was fund your evolution. Number 6. Don't fear being alone. That's where the real power is built. Chosen one, they thought cutting you off would clip your wings, that removing you from the circle would shrink your power. What they never calculated was what happens when a rare force is left undisturbed. While they whispered in groups, you were getting downloads in solitude. While they played roles to be liked, you were getting sculpted by stillness. People confuse being alone with being forgotten. But you weren't forgotten. You were hidden, protected, not buried, but planted deep where distractions couldn't reach you. And now they don't know how to approach you. Because the one they left behind doesn't exist anymore. You see, in solitude, there's no noise to manipulate you, no masks to decode. It's just you, your thoughts, your clarity, and the next elevation. That's why they fear the version of you that came out of isolation. Because you didn't come out desperate. You came out dangerous. You found peace without them. You built your own atmosphere. And now, nothing external holds power over your internal. Think about it. Why do they try so hard to pull you back into the noise? Because silence was supposed to break you. Instead, it upgraded you. Solitude isn't your weakness. It's your weapon. It's where illusions die and vision is born. That's why you're feared. Because when you walked alone, you met the version of yourself that doesn't beg to be seen. Let them run. You've already arrived. Number 7. Stop ignoring your gut. Your intuition sees what eyes can't. Chosen one, your gift was never your volume. It was your vision. While others needed evidence, you were decoding energy. While they waited for receipts, you already had the revelation. Your gut. It's not just a feeling, it's a spiritual radar. And the longer you keep brushing it off, the more dangerous your silence becomes. For you don't just sense things, you see them before they unfold. You can feel a shift in the room before a word is spoken. That's not imagination, that's insight. But the problem is, you've been trained to doubt it. Conditioned to call your clarity paranoia just because others can't perceive it. Let me be clear, their blindness is not your burden. You've been betrayed by people who smiled in your face, and your gut warned you first. You've walked into situations that drained your soul, and your body knew before your mind caught up. That's the kind of spiritual technology you carry. And when you ignore it, you invite unnecessary chaos. You don't need to explain your distance anymore. You don't owe anyone a breakdown of your boundaries. If the vibe is off, trust it. If the energy is heavy, honor it. Because chosen ones, we don't wait for proof. We move when the atmosphere shifts. The world calls it sensitivity. We call it survival. That gut feeling. That's your inner compass screaming, "This isn't right." Start listening, because what your spirit detects, others won't even notice until it's too late. Number 8. Don't inherit the curse. Be the chain breaker who resets the bloodline. You came through a bloodline soaked in silence, shame, secrets, and survival patterns dressed up as culture. But here's the truth. What ran through your family ends with you. You don't carry their curses. You carry the power to dismantle them. And that makes you dangerous in a way tradition fears and trauma can't predict. They thought you'd inherit the dysfunction like a family heirloom. They expected you to pass down the same chains. Bitterness, people-pleasing, silence around abuse, fear masked as respect. But you cracked the pattern. You questioned what they never dared to. And with every truth you spoke, every boundary you set, every moment you chose healing over hiding, you began rewriting your bloodline. You didn't run from the fire. You walked into it and forged a new lineage. That's why certain people treat your growth like betrayal, because your evolution exposes their stagnation. But understand this, healing disturbs comfort, and you were not born to keep anyone comfortable. You were born to correct what generations accepted as normal. So if they call you rebellious, wear it like armor, because you're not rebelling, you're reprogramming. You're the first in your line to say enough and mean it. You're not the black sheep. You're the blueprint, the reformer, the threat they never prepared for. Number 9. Stop trusting the physical. Your fortress was meant to be spiritual. Chosen one, while others searched for shelter in status, followers, or friendships that flipped when the winds changed, you went deeper. You didn't hide in titles. You didn't cling to crowds. You retreated into the unseen, into the sacred, into the unshakable stronghold of your own energy. And that's why they don't understand you. Because you don't panic when the external crumbles. You don't spiral when people walk away. You've trained yourself to survive without applause, to grow without permission, and to win without witnesses. While they were building mansions of illusion, you were building frequency. While they were decorating walls for aesthetics, you were reinforcing your aura with intention. Your power isn't loud, it's encrypted. And that's what shakes them. They look at you and don't see the source of your strength, because it's not in your clothes, your bank account, or your platform. It's in your energy. It's in your stillness. It's in the way you carry storms without needing to speak of them. They fear what they can't explain, and you, chosen one, are spiritually untraceable. Your aura disturbs structures. Your silence unseats egos. Your calm forces chaos to retreat. So stop looking for security in anything temporary. You were never meant to blend in with things that can break. You are the storm shelter. You are the fortress. And now that your energy is fully aligned, even the physical world is starting to obey your frequency. That's why they're running, not from what they see, but from what they feel when you walk in. You became dangerous the moment you realized power isn't what surrounds you, it's what moves through you. Number 10. Quit begging for validation. The moment you stop explaining, you start dominating. There comes a point where the silence hits louder than any speech ever could, and chosen one, that moment arrived the day you stopped handing out explanations like apologies. You pulled your energy back from conversations that didn't deserve your clarity, and everything changed. Not just for you, but for the people who fed off your need to be understood. They used to control the narrative because you kept defending your heart. They played victim while you tried to explain your purity. But now, you've disconnected from their emotional economy. You don't owe them closure. You owe yourself peace. And when you stopped explaining, that's when you started dominating. You no longer fight for understanding in rooms built on misunderstanding. You no longer argue with people who already decided who you were before you even spoke. That's what made you dangerous. Not rage, not revenge, but restraint, stillness, silence laced with spiritual confidence. The moment you stopped justifying your journey, the mask on their manipulation cracked. Chosen one, you're not walking away because you're bitter. You're walking away because you finally remembered who you are. You don't need an audience to validate your role. You don't need approval to breathe fire. You are the fire. And now that your voice no longer trembles for recognition, their lies are suffocating in your silence. You've become untouchable, not by shouting louder, but by never needing to be heard at all. Number 11. Don't perform to be accepted. Your realness is the earthquake that shakes illusions. Chosen one, Your power didn't come from trying to fit in. It came from the moment you stopped pretending. The second you dropped the performance and stood raw, real, and unapologetically aligned, the ground beneath their lies began to crack. See, they don't fear loud voices. They fear the quiet truth. And you, chosen one, walk with a kind of honesty that doesn't ask for applause. You don't adjust your truth for comfort. You don't dilute your soul just to be digestible. And that alone makes you dangerous in a world addicted to illusion. They built their personas on survival tactics, filters, masks, ego-driven roles. But you burned the script and walked into every room as your unfiltered self. No embellishment, no disguise, just raw essence. And that kind of frequency exposes everything fake without even trying. That's why they distance themselves, not because you did something wrong, but because you remind them of everything they buried. You are a walking mirror, and when people aren't ready to face themselves, they will hate the reflection you bring. Chosen one, your realness is not too much. It's too accurate, too revealing, too pure for people built on pretense. So let them squirm, let them walk away. You weren't meant to be palatable. You were meant to be piercing. Let this be your reminder. Illusions can't survive where truth walks in. Number 12. Stop waiting for a green light. Walk in power like you own the road. Chosen one, let this sink in. The world was never designed to give you permission. It was designed to keep you waiting, waiting for approval, waiting for a nod, waiting for someone else's signal to step into what's already yours. But the moment you stopped asking, everything changed. You became a disruption to their system of delays. While they sat in traffic, scanning for signs, you took the wheel and created your own lane. No blinker, no warning, just movement. That's what makes you dangerous. You don't wait to be crowned. You walk like the crown is part of your spine. You don't wait for the light to turn green. You realize you are the momentum. You are the signal. You are the shift. The reason they stare, whisper, and freeze when you pass by. It's not arrogance, it's presence. It's that unshakable energy of someone who finally knows they were never meant to follow maps drawn by the fearful. You became a threat the day you stopped explaining your moves, the day you stopped hesitating, the day you walked like the road had to move for you. Chosen one, you don't need to justify the path. You are the reason the path exists. So burn the blueprint, delete the doubts, and keep walking like the pavement was poured beneath your purpose. And if everything you just heard feels like it was written from inside your own soul, it's because it was. This message wasn't random. It's a reflection of who you are becoming. Chosen one, the road ahead isn't about permission, it's about recognition. You've already been marked by power, by truth, by clarity. The shift is here, and your silence is louder than ever. So if this resonated, drop a comment with, "I move like I own the road," like this video, and make sure to subscribe, because what's coming next will shake every system that ever tried to contain you.